I'm always afraid when I'm so absent-minded and forgetful
Are you
that
serious?
I don't know, like maybe I'll forget
Am
my
I
bra
aware
or
that my
which
behavior
would really
is
be horrible,
inappropriate?
or
Is that an appropriate
that
thing
I
to
will
say
have
to a
gained
person in
weight
therapy?
and not realized it, and I look terrible in it, or slutty, or something, or
have been
or
hearing this.
Excuse me.
Loud in my head.
manic, you call it. I think they should call it flibberty-gibbety.
No,
depression.
I don't
Ah,
think I'm being
I made a
inappropriate.
joke.
I
can't
really
stop
don't
being
believe
sad
that
this
I
time.
am
With the
clear-headed
way the
and
jokes is
so
what I really
That's
think.
probably good.
focused and like
So
I check myself
all
all
that,
times.
you know, that reminds me.
I
Look
walk
out
out
the
the
door.
door.
Did I fill it out right? Yes, I am really nervous. I mean, you're looking at the form I filled out for a really long time. And I don't want to leave here today and be sent to a mental institution because I'm really crazy or something. Okay, we won't use the word crazy here. That's fine with me. Well, I'm not working right now. It's just my brain. It's just really messy. It's just really messy. My mother was a really good baker. She used to make cakes all the time. And she had this really old-fashioned mixer that she was really proud of because she had gotten it for her weddings. I mean, it was like ancient because my parents were kind of old when they had kids, and this mixer didn't have a lid on it. You know, it wasn't like a food processor. And one day she was making a strawberry chocolate cake, and strawberry chocolate was my favorite. And the mixer is going, and she had run into the other room to look for something. And I mean, I don't know why I was so stupid, because I was already 10 at that point. You know, it wasn't like I didn't know anything like some little bitty kid. But I got up on a chair so I could look into the bowl, and I tried to stick my finger in, even though the mixer is going, you know, and it's going so fast and everything. And my mother runs back in, and she was just totally freaked out. Because I guess she thought I was gonna lose a finger or something. And so she pulls the bowl out, and all of this cake mix, the batter, goes all over the room. Well, that's what my brain feels like right now. I mean, It's what I said. I only know how to say it, how I know how to say it. Sometimes it feels like there's all this interference going on inside my head. And it doesn't matter whether I feel sad or whether I have all that crazy energy that I get sometimes. It doesn't matter. There's still, like, there's somebody else in there. You mean like another personality? You mean like a split personality? Like somebody who got raped by their father when they were little? Why does there have to be all this weird sex stuff? I told you what it is. I told you what it feels like. It's... That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to come. Are you asking me that because I'm black?
Focus. I gotta. My bad. I gotta like I don't know. Maybe I can like mix the bad chemicals that solidify into one ball that's in one place inside my head that I can like go look for something. You know?
Yet another negative thing
Like-
inside my head.
Go look for in a closet inside my head. If I could just visualize. Visualize somehow even a little harder, like finding something where to go to a therapist. Why another crazy about like that? Just not away. How could that be me? How could that be coming from me? That crazy one comes out inside my head and just like if blows everything up.
Still went to mass.
The holidays. See her at the wrong time or the wrong person. I'm so afraid I'm gonna hit somebody, and I mean I could just do that. I think it's I need like this for the rest of my life. I mean, I thought I'll just never be able to find anything clear in that. How complicated can it be? Yeah. I mean, I can't even remember it. It's complicated. So much for my. Maybe I should just never go outside. Maybe a reconversion? I mean, if your head as a Catholic before, how hard you even knew I was a Christian to be considered that anything except what's inside my head. So I never really converted. I mean, I just believed it. It must be something natural. Inside the body. Well, that's all I need to do, is to start thinking of that, like being an atheist and Hail Mary and Catholics and how stupid I think some of that stuff is.
Produces it, right? How come there's not something
Inside the brain, yeah. People that set themselves up above everybody else. Or who do people think they can't even talk, damn it. God damn it. Right, calm. Go again. Letting that crazy woman out. Don't let that crazy woman come out. She can't not be like it, and you never go outside. I mean, you're gonna go off on a therapist the way you went off. Except when that crazy woman comes out inside your head and stop therapist is going to send you home. Don't come back. Me. Not going to put you on disability. Me. There you go.
Well, I don't feel very good. I was already sad. I cried all the time. I even got sent home from work because I had started crying in meetings, and I don't even know why. I was an assistant editor on legal publications. It's like a library. It's quiet. There's not a lot of stress. So it's not like it was a really hostile, unfriendly environment. I started to feel sad deep down inside, and then my husband thought that it was all about him for some reason because, well, we didn't have much of a sex life. I would like to get him back, and he says that he would like to come back to me, but he said that I have to fix myself before we can fix our marriage, and I guess that's fair. But then my parents died in an automobile accident. Just crashed. Just like that. They were gone. When I got back in town after the funeral, my supervisor calls me into her office and tells me that she wants me to go on disability for a few months. She didn't want me to come back to work until I had fixed myself. And I would just sit around all day long, just sit and sit and sit and not do anything for months. And then it turns out that my parents had these huge insurance policies, and I don't need to go back to work for a while. I do get to see my husband every once in a while, about once or twice a month. We go out on a date. He told me, well, you always wanted to be an artist anyway. Maybe that's what you should do. And that's a lot easier said than done when you feel like you can barely even touch yourself inside, and you I can barely even draw. I've been working on this one drawing. It's like it takes me a week to do the jaw lines, or I've been trying to make a decision about one of the noses for about 4 weeks now. It's really bad. But then there's this part of me that feels like a volcano. But this volcanic self, my supervisor, I think I think she got her undergraduate degree in psychology. So she was trying to analyze what was wrong with me. Man, I can't believe I'm laughing about this. My supervisor told me that she thinks that I'm bipolar. That was number one. And then because I started crying in meetings, she told me I was paranoid. And that made me really mad at first, but I'm like the most gullible person in the world. So now that just seems really funny because I hardly distrust anybody. I mean, I've had more of a problem with trusting people too much my whole life than being paranoid. But this volcanic side of me, what my supervisor calls my manic side, it just feels like sometimes like explosions are going off inside me. Just boom, 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 boom. And it's embarrassing. It's like anything would come out of my mouth. Anything. Which is one of the things that made me so mad about that last therapist, because that's like all she wanted to talk about was sex, 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 sex. She told me that she thought maybe, well, she didn't exactly say she thought I had split personalities, but that's what she was implying, because she kept asking me these questions like did I have sex with my father when I was a little girl? I mean, what's wrong? What's wrong with people? I mean, I thought that Freudian stuff was like totally debunked. Well, there is this other thing. Well, I hear this voice. I hear this voice. And sometimes it's like I can feel it sitting next to me. There's times when, even though I'm not hearing this voice, I'm walking down the street and I can feel its presence come on all of a sudden. And it's like, it almost feels like the sky turns orange, or like the sidewalk turns to water, or like my body has turned to rubber. And it's like this presence, this voice. I mean, it's more than a voice. It's like this weird energy that creates all this interference. It changes my environment. It turns the world weird colors. It makes me feel
unsure of my footsteps, and so it's trying to agitate me. Well, it's sort of like my other middle name, Echo, where it just, where it's like making reality bounce back and forth off itself, off me, off the voice, off the sky, off everything. It's like ping, 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 ping. Changing reality. Every once in a while, I just want to give in to that voice, that let my body turn to rubber and float away and reflect the orange sky. Just give in.
I don't want to do this anymore. Therapy. I don't want to do it. I mean, do I have to do it? I mean, I've read about what happens to people, that they act out in public, or they commit a crime or something, and they get arrested, and sometimes they get hospitalized after they've been arrested or instead of being arrested. Well, I didn't do anything to anybody else. I have not tried to kill myself, even though I think about it a lot. I haven't actually done it. And up until my boss told me that I needed to go on disability and get some help before I came back to work, I was holding down my job. I never called in sick, no matter how sad I felt. Once, just once. I mean, there were a million times I felt like yelling at this one guy on our team that I had so much trouble getting along with, and he was always trying to boss me around. He was always trying to tell me what to do. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Are you just supposed to let people push you around? Is that what you're supposed to do? And I really hate that word, aggressive. I was a shy child, and I have gone to a lot of trouble to learn how to be assertive, and there's a difference. I haven't hit anybody, I haven't smacked anybody, and Lord knows I feel like it a lot of the time, and I'm going to be honest. I never get a prescription filled without looking in the PDR. Now, I took the lithium because lithium has been around since practically the caveman days, and except for the fact that it doesn't really work for me, except for that, the only bad thing it did was make me gain a few pounds, and I figure I might as well stay on it, even though it doesn't seem to be doing any damn good. I might as well stay on it because apparently you can't ever lose whatever weight you gain on lithium. And I guess it didn't turn me obese or anything, but that's not true about what can happen with that antipsychotic. Perfenazine, what is it, Trolfon? I mean, I've seen these people, these street people, and their mouths are doing that thing. That's not going to happen to me. That's not going to happen to me. I can gain 5 pounds, and I can make myself not think about it, so I won't want to kill myself over it. And I'm old enough to accept that dieting isn't going to do any damn good, and I'm middle-aged anyway now. But I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. You know, I tried it for 3 weeks, and it didn't do anything except make me feel like I weighed 300 pounds. And like my brain was in like a vice grip or something. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing this. This isn't working. Talking about the past isn't working. It's not working. I mean, why should I have had to look in the PDR? I mean, you're supposed to be my therapist. You're supposed to have my best interest. You know I have a thing about my appearance, especially right now, because I've either got to start dating so I won't be lonely all the time, or I have to try to make myself attractive enough that my husband wants to come back. But, I mean, like, why would you tell somebody like that, oh, by the way, you may notice that you gained a few pounds on the lithium, and I mean, you feel terrible, and me, I go up and down, you know? And I put on my favorite clothes, like I love these pants, and they're just so tight now. I'm just so miserable. Bad feelings are endless. God, why does this have to happen to me? Why does this have to happen to me? I wasn't doing anything to anybody. I'm totally not prepared for this. There's nobody in my family like this. I mean, I've never even had PMS. I mean, I didn't even get depressed from having cramps, and I mean, God, it's just so awful. It's so awful. And it's not fair. It's not as bad as it was a year ago when I would be walking down the street, or that's why I would start crying in meetings at work, because I thought people were like reading my thoughts and trying to fill my head with their thoughts or other thoughts or bad thoughts or something. And it took me a while, and I realized it on my own. You know, I was already starting to get over it when I realized that, you know, I needed to do something. See a doctor, or find out if it would do any good, which of course I feel like it's not doing any good. Like, I'm just stuck like this. Like, there's just nothing anybody can do.
mean, you can't call it existing what's happening right now. I mean, this is existing. What is this? What is this? I mean, am I even breathing? When you go back, I can feel breath. That doesn't mean anything. It's probably just cold, dead air coming from my cold, dead inside that have been murdered by my brain. Murdered by my fucking brain. Murdered. What the hell is this? I mean, still looks kind of good, but right now that's not all. At the same time that you pay attention. Pay attention. Your eyes are all hollowed out. Do you see what's happening? Your mouth is all sad. One is sad all day. Cry all your whole face is sagging, sad, hopping around except it's hollowed out. Fuck this. Fuck that. Fuck. What's the matter with you? Haven't you been paying attention to what's happening today? I mean, you gotta do something. You can't. She says she thinks that I never have. You can't. Psychotic like this. Psychotic. Do something. Psychotic. Do something. Psychotic features. Snip it all off. Snip it. Well, I'm tired of myself right now. Better ball this noise inside my head. I can't get away from the noise. Never. I think I am. I can see stuff that's not there. I feel stuff that's not really happening. I hear stuff that nobody's saying and hope that there's somebody back. I find something that's close to the dark can be inside your head. Whoever they are. Nobody. Your depression is inside your head. Nobody. The thoughts that are in there, whether it's I just want to die, I just want to cry, I just want to go to sleep and never work out, or whether it's fuck all day long, fuck that. Doesn't matter. It's all you. It's all you. You just have to find a way to understand that. To hold on to that. It'll never stay. That's what's real. Never stay. That's what's real. That other stuff is gone. It's all done. It's just never gonna be around. Even if you come back. Even if you get over your parents dying, even if they rose from the dead. No purpose. I mean, you got your job. You got a job that you like even more. Occupy this or you can finish a job.
Something is missing.
to talk to my doctor, and she needs to send somebody to come get me. I need somebody to come get me so I won't fall apart, so I can fight the part of me that's missing. Please send somebody to get me. Please send somebody to get me. I need some help. Please send somebody to get me. Please send an ambulance. Please send an ambulance. Please answer the phone. Please answer the phone. Please answer the phone. I need somebody to come get me. I need somebody to come get me. I need an ambulance to come get me. I need an ambulance right now. I need an ambulance right now. You know, I mean, I'm stressed out, but it's not like I'm depressed and I'm so depressed that I'm down in a deep dark hole and I can't carry on a conversation, or like I'm so happy and dancing naked in the street that I don't know that something is happening that is perhaps not desirable. Hearing voices that's perhaps not desirable, okay? No, I am just wondering if you're going to talk for 10 minutes again before I get to say anything. Like, it seems to just be happening today, so far. That's what seems to be happening. Okay, all right. So you're laying the ground rules.
I wish somebody would tell me what I need to say so you people will let me out of here. Do you hear me? I know you must be watching this room. What's the point of putting a person in a room like this where they can't even bump their head to express themselves? I wish somebody would just tell me what it is that I need to do so you people will let me out of here and stop treating me like I'm some sort of a violent, crazy person, sociopath or psychopath or whatever it is that you think. I wish you people would let me out of here. I didn't do anything. I was smart. I did the right thing. I called my therapist and I told her that part of me was missing, which she could have taken metaphorically, but no. What did she think, that I was able to talk on the phone even though I had just blown my head off with it? That doesn't mean I own a gun, okay? That doesn't mean I'm going to shoot myself. I don't have a gun. I don't like it. There could never be a gun in my house. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything that should make it okay for you people to like me. Oh my God, why do you turn the heat on? Are you some sort of perverts or something? You turn the heat up so high that a person has to take her clothes off or his clothes off so that you can see them naked or something? I mean, is that what that's about? Is that what all the heat is about? Oh God, I just want to get out of here. I just want to get out of here. What do I have to say? What do I have to do? What do I have to say? What do I have to do for you to let me out of here? What do I have to say? What do I have to do for you to let me out of here? What do I have to say? What do I have to do for you to let me out of here? What do I have to do? What do I have to do? What do I have to do? all I did
Excuse me.
was call my therapist and tell her that I didn't feel right, that something
Excuse
was
me?
wrong, and I needed to talk to her. And I guess I said you to let me out of here. What do I
Excuse
have to
me,
say? What do
but
I have
I
to do for you to
forgot
let me out of here?
To put my
What do I
socks
have
on
to say?
this
What do I
morning.
have to do for you
Yes.
to let me out of
I
here?
was
What do I
upset.
have to do? What do I have to do? What do I have to do? All I did
I don't want to go
was
into
call
why
my
I
therapist
was
and
upset,
tell her
except
that I didn't feel
I don't think
right,
I should
that
really.
something was wrong, and I needed to talk
I mean,
to her.
maybe I should be in the hospital,
said-
but
I guess I said
this
please
room,
send an ambulance. I guess I said
seriously,
somebody needs to come get me.
well,
Maybe
it's
I should have
freezing
called my husband.
in this hospital, and sometimes when
Maybe-
I feel
Maybe I should have called
really sad
him.
like this, I
Or-
get cold more easily,
or
and
somebody
I
who-
really
who
need
knows
my
me,
socks.
Somebody
I mean,
somebody
could
who-
somebody please
who-
bring me some socks,
Somebody.
or can I have a blanket? I really,
just want to get out of here.
I'm not
I have
going to try to
get out
kill
of
myself. I mean, if that is what this is about, I'm assuming. I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to
I
hurt
guess
anybody
I
else. I
shouldn't
haven't
have
meaning
banged
my
threats.
hand on the door.
Somebody told me
And
that
I
they
guess
put
I
suicides and
shouldn't
people who are
have
violent
been
in this
slapping
room.
the wall.
Did I try
trying
to
to
commit
express
suicide?
my frustration.
Did I
mean,
express
I didn't do
in
it to
any
anybody
way
else.
that I don't
And
want any help
I
or
guess
I
it
don't
was-
need any help?
I guess it was.
No, I didn't
I guess
do
it
that.
was a bit much.
I didn't
that
do that.
I
I
hit
did
my hand on the door, but I
exactly
swear
what
that's
that
the first
therapist has
time
been
I've
trying
ever
to
done
get
that.
me to do.
I'm
Ask
telling you,
for
nobody
help.
has ever
Is this helping me?
ever seen
no,
me do
it's
that.
just
I mean,
making
I-
me mad.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm
really,
not
really
violent,
angry.
okay?
This is
I'm not
not
violent to other
fair.
people, and I'm not violent
God.
to myself. I'm
You think
just
to
so
cure a
frustrated.
person, you
It's
give
just-
them a time
it's
out?
just-
That's what this is. This
the
is a
ambulance
time out.
came and nobody talked
I know
to
you
me.
hear me.
Nobody asked me what was wrong. And then
And
I get here.
how do I know?
and
Maybe
that's the first time you've
ever
ever me
heard a patient
something, and
say
it made me
How do I
sleepy
know?
right away. And
How
I
do
go
I know?
down this list of
I mean, when I
things,
think about
and none
how
of those
many
have
therapists
anything to
I
do
had
with
to
me
go
except
to
I feel sad.
before I found
and
one
I had trouble
who acted
sleeping,
like she had any
and-
damn sense. Excuse
I
me.
mean, I'm in
Well,
menopause. Those are
hell.
symptoms of menopause. It can
Hell,
be
what
that.
do I know?
it's
Maybe,
not.
maybe
I know it's not. I have accepted.
bipolar.
maybe
I have
maybe
accepted
it's
that,
only
and I
a
have
minority
even started
of
talking
people
to my
who
therapist about
really get it.
I
who
hear
really
things.
Get it. Who knows
It's
what
like
happens
me,
to a
but
person
it's not.
when
It's like,
pieces of them
well, that
seem to
isn't even,
disappear or
that
float
isn't
off
even
and
the point.
have an
The voice
existence
does
of their
not
own,
tell
and that's
me.
how I feel right now.
I think that was one of the
That's
questions.
how I've
Does the
been
voice
feeling.
tell me to hurt myself or hurt
But
other people or
Did the first
jump off a
therapist? No.
bridge? I
The
don't
first therapist wanted to talk to me about whether I had sex with
No.
my father. And the second
No.
therapist, oh my God.
But if you're going to
When
make
I told her
me stay in
that-
here,
that-
I mean, I probably
that
could
my
use
parents
gloves too.
had been separated
so
for a
if
while
somebody could
when I
bring
was
me my
15.
at least my socks,
then that's
they're
what
right
she
there
wanted
on
to
the
talk
end of the
about.
bed,
At 15,
where they were
I mean,
when
yeah,
I don't
it's
even
people
know
have
why I
arguments.
got
My mother
so
wanted
upset.
a job,
Oh.
but my father didn't want her to have a job. End of discussion.
told me I couldn't have any coffee today. I
I
asked
did.
her for some coffee, and
My mother
she
came
told
back,
me
And
I couldn't have
it was
any coffee,
fine.
and maybe in a couple of days
and
I
the
could have
third
decaf.
therapist was
I mean, seriously? God, she made me fill
sorry
out all
to
these
yell.
goddamn forms.
I'm sorry
You know?
to yell, but at least nobody
She made me
can hear
feel
that.
like
Nobody could hear
there was
anything
something
through
wrong
these
with
walls,
me
I'm
that
sure,
was
except
mysterious
you
that I
and
could
the
never
mic is.
understand.
I mean, I'm
now this
talking
one,
in the direction
I
of what I
know
think
that my
must be
therapist
some
didn't
sort
tell
of
you. I think the
camera setup.
first thing you should do is put her in the white room. I
And
know she didn't tell you
I'm not
that.
a rude person, okay?
I know she didn't tell you
I'm
that because
not.
she's not stupid.
I'm not a rude person.
She's
I'm not a
probably
violent
smarter than
person,
you.
I'm not a mean person. I mean,
She's
unless
smart
I,
enough to work
really-
with an actual person, not
And
just
I don't even get
stick them in
that.
a room by themselves and watch them
I hate that word.
on a
God, it
TV screen.
just- that word just makes me shiver.
That's exactly what
Nick.
you're
I mean,
doing,
it
right?
Just sounds like. It sounds like. That sounds like
Well,
a person
I'm not
who can't
stupid
stop
either.
banging her head on the wall, and who is
I'm
like
pretty
hitting
smart.
other people and being mean and, yelling.
and all I
don't do
need,
that.
all I need is
I
for
had
somebody
arguments
to
with my husband,
explain
but I mean that's normal.
what's happening.
I tried
And just
so
like I
hard.
always took care of myself up to
I
this
tried
point,
so hard to be normal.
and it wasn't always easy. I can
Sitting
take care
in
of
bed
myself
in a
again.
room.
And that doesn't mean I'm not going to
Feet are
take my
freezing.
medication. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to
And
go
I know
to therapy.
people are
But
watching
you
you
can't
listening to
treat
me,
me
I can't even
like a
see your
kindergartner in a timeout.
I just wish there would be some kind of.
How is that right? How is that going to help me? How is that going to help you? That's just going to give you some negative notes to put on my chart.
Give me some socks
That's all it's going to do.
or something.
Hello? Hello? Shit. Shit, shit, shit. Who's practicing on me and the rest of the people they won't let out of here. And she's filling out a form, she's asking me questions and like checking answers and maybe making a few notes. And I mean, getting mad actually focused me. I can't believe they won't let me. And when I told her that, I really feel like.
What did she say? What did she say when I told her that? When I said I think
I'm fine now because I can see that I'm not going to get
remember.
help here,
I mean,
and it's really come clear to me because I'm trying to talk to you, and you're filling out that
I
form
need to
like
remember. I've got to protect
I'm
myself.
a
I've
robot
gotta make
that came
sure
in
this
for
doesn't happen
repair.
again. I mean, who knows what they're writing? Who knows what they're writing?
I guess I shouldn't
on
have started hitting my chair and
my chart.
banging my head on the door.
Like that art therapy teacher. I
Oh,
mean,
man, I have to remember all the shit that happened in here. Oh, God.
I mean, she's probably in art therapy
Because, I mean, this is like,
she's
I
not
mean,
good enough
seriously?
to really
Seriously.
be an artist.
I mean,
in the
how
first place,
would
I don't
she
believe
even
any of
know
these
goddamn people are even old enough
about really like
to understand
getting into adult
show
problems.
and like having an exhibit of your work.
I mean, so college
How can
for sure
she
isn't
decide
the real world.
that
And a
I'm
college
just
full
making that
of
up.
geeky smart people
You have to
for
do
sure
the glue
isn't the real
glitter
world. I mean, hell,
exercise anyway.
you know, all you have to do is walk into any goddamn law
Because
firm.
She says so. I mean, she's like
Oh, God.
maybe 25.
Jesus, and I
It's
bet
probably the
doctor's
closest
offices.
thing to a
Well,
real
maybe
job
by the
she's ever
time
had.
you're like a
She
gray
doesn't
haired
know
doctor, or
shit.
maybe if
She
you
doesn't
work in an
know
ER and you see
anything.
real shit happens. But this is like a
God
controlled
damn it.
environment. You know?
I need a
Because
pencil.
they have that room
I need
to threaten people with.
I need
They have that room to
be
threaten
able to
people
write
with.
down
And
all
so
of the stuff
they can
that's
control you.
happening.
I mean,
most
it's
of the
all
time.
so jumbled up in my head, like starting from when I got here.
I have to remember everything that's happening.
And I was like so tired.
So I'm
I was like so
gonna
tired. I
concentrate.
could barely
It's
hold
the only
way
myself
I
up.
can use a pencil is under
I mean,
supervision. Is that what they mean
Under
when they say a person was hospitalized for exhaustion? Yeah, everybody knows what exhaustion is. I mean, fuck that.
It's just so
Fuck
stupid.
that. God
can't
damn it.
stand
That
it.
is
I just-
so,
really,
so,
I just
seriously cannot stand this.
annoying.
I
Need to get out of here.
I can't even have one of those little ballot pencils without sitting out there at that table where that lady
And how am I
with-
supposed to get better?
Oh God,
This
that lady was just
cubicle
sad. She's just so
of a
sad.
Where
I mean, how
they're
can it be
playing
good
musical-
for somebody like me
musical patients or
who can
musical
actually
beds. I mean, I
hold a
really
job,
would like to know what happened to that
no matter
woman.
what
who was
my
in the other
supervisor says about
I
it?
mean, she was
All of a sudden,
just
she was
a
here in the
villain.
middle of the night for 3. I mean, what am I supposed to do? And she just lay there the whole time. I mean, my God,
How
half the time I thought
is
she's dead.
being on
Because she wasn't
disability
moving.
helping me?
And
I'm
she's
just
bored
she's like-
all the time. And here,
She has her back to me the
Here-
whole time.
it's like, it's a test
And then every once in a while,
for
somebody
whether
would
they'll let
come
you out,
and get
how
her, and I
well
guess they were
you
giving her
tolerate the
more
boredom.
medications to
Is
keep
that
it
it? Is
sleep
that
all
like
Yeah,
having
she was
control of
asleep the whole
yourself
time.
and of your mind and of your mood?
And then all of a
And
sudden,
all of that. But is that it? Being
in the
able
middle
to
of the night,
tolerate
she was
that?
gone
I mean,
again.
what the fuck is
and nobody
that?
will tell me what happened. I mean,
What
for
the
all
fuck
I know,
is
she
that?
might have died.
What
she
is
might have
that?
been laying there dead.
God damn it.
Without me knowing and even being able to do anything about it. I mean, God damn it, able to turn to me. What's happening here? I need to be
I
able
have
to
got
write this shit
To
down.
remember
Came in.
everything that's happening. I mean, am I just going to
I
have to
needed
go
to
out
check
there
somebody. I couldn't find my phone.
under supervision
The practical solution
and just
was to call
like,
an ambulance
just
because
journal everything that's happened so
I
far?
really did feel lost. And
Since they
then
told me
I came
they weren't
here,
gonna let me out of here.
and
I still can't.
I
understand
really
what you said.
seriously,
Seriously,
I'm not
it's-
kidding.
it's-
I mean,
it's-
this is what I'm
it's
going to tell my
best
therapist.
for you that,
This is what I'm
that
going to tell my therapist when
when
I
I
actually
actually
get to see her.
they don't say you're too
I mean,
crazy.
it made
we
me
are
so
lucky
mad
that
I'm trying to
you're
talk
too
to this lady
nuts and
you know,
whack
who's
job
another
youngster
and
who's
we think
practicing
that
on me
think
and the rest of the people
we think you're in
they
danger of doing harm
won't
to
let out of
yourself
here.
or
and she's
Jesus Christ.
she's filling out a form. She's asking me questions and like checking answers and
Just gonna
me
have to go out
making
there
a
and ask
few
for a
notes.
There's something there. There's something there. There's nothing there. There is something there. I can't hear anything except my own singing. Da, 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 da. There is something there. There is something there. There is something there. There is something there. There's something there. There's something there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. I can't hear you. Oh, damn it. I have to go. I talked to it again. I talked to it again. There's nothing there. I have to. There's nothing there. 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 I have to go. I have to go find it. 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 There's something there. 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 There is something there. There is something there. There is something there.
I'm always afraid when I'm so absent-minded and forgetful that
Serious.
I don't know, like maybe I'll forget
Am
my
I
bra
aware
or
that my
which
behavior
would really
is
be horrible,
inappropriate?
or
Is that an
that
appropriate thing
I
to say
will
to a
gain
person in
weight
therapy?
and not realized it, and I look terrible in it, or slutty, or something, or
have been
or
very
Excuse me.
loud in my head.
you can call it. I think
I
just, but I think they should call it
flibberty
jibbity.
No,
depression.
I don't think I'm being
I made a
inappropriate.
joke.
I
can't
really
stop
don't
being
believe
sad
that
this
I
time.
am
clear-headed
and
and so
really
that's
probably good.
focused and like
so
I
and
check
I
myself
saw it
out
all
10
that
times.
that
You know,
I-
that reminds
I
me. And he
walk
has to look
out
the
the
door.
door.
No. I'm not that cold. Well, how do you think I feel? I just got out of the mental hospital, and what happened in there was not what I was expecting. I don't want to take my coat off. I just don't want to. No. Well, I think you already know what I want to say. What I really want to say is, why would you let them do that to me? Yeah, I feel betrayed. That's the word for it. I feel betrayed. No, I'm not cold. I'm not cold. I'm not cold, and I don't want to take my jacket off. That place, the hospital, and as soon as they lock the doors on you, you know that it's something more than a hospital, or maybe different from a hospital. It's not like getting your tonsils out, for sure. I said it's not like getting your tonsils out, for sure. What's wrong with therapy? What's wrong with the way people like me well, it's no wonder that people stay crazy. It's no wonder. How can that help you? How they put you in there, they lock the door. You think that you're in there voluntarily to get better, and excuse me, I guess I just didn't understand the voluntariness of voluntary commitment, because the next thing I knew, well, I'm afraid you're going to be here a few more days. I'm feeling like people feel when they get out of a mental hospital. I don't have enough words. And they go home, and so I'm there with my brain that feels like they scooped it out in there with all those pills they give you. It feels like somebody. So I'm there with not even my whole self for company. There's not enough words. Well, it's no wonder that people stay crazy. It's no wonder. Well, I'm not going to do it again. How can that help you? How they put you in there, they lock the door, and I don't. You think that you're in there voluntarily to get better? I'm wondering if people. Excuse me, I guess I just didn't understand the voluntariness of voluntary commitment should even be allowed. I think that because the next thing I knew,
of being crazy before
Well,
they're
I'm
allowed
afraid
to
you're going to
crazy
be here a
people.
few more days.
That's just how I feel.
And
I mean, I wasn't even suicidal, and except for that first day, day and a half.
that's all I have to say. So,
And yeah, I guess I had
if you have
no
something
line.
to do, then
And I was freaked out. I was freaked out. I don't have any reference for an experience like that. There's no preparation.
Has been
When you talk to me,
Russell,
if you
I've
ever
hardly
felt
even
like you
seen
needed to
any
go to the
people
hospital,
who
you didn't then blah blah blah. This is what it will be like, and this is how long they will.
In the
be. I
funny
mean, you
farm.
should have told me that stuff. I mean, what
yeah,
is the point
so-
of having a therapist?
That's all.
I got over the way that I felt when I went into the hospital, like the flu. And so what I'm wondering is, maybe I'll just get over it. Okay. Maybe I'll get over it for a while, but maybe I'll get over it for a while. And then, if it happens again, well, I'll just have to deal with that.
Okay, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. I feel like something happened in the hospital. Like some sort of emotional lobotomy. And it's like over half of me is missing, over half of who I knew I was. And every day that passes since I got out of the hospital, it gets harder and harder to remember who I was, and not all of that was the bad part. Not all of it was sad. It was the part of me that can look at a flower and feel something, and then draw the flower or paint the flower and make somebody else feel that thing that I felt. That part of me is gone. It's gone. And it started out like I was just broken, you know, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall and landed in the mental hospital. Only when I looked for the pieces, they were gone. It's like I'm gone. Part of me is missing. I need to find it. I feel like I'm gonna die. No, I don't want to kill myself. Would you stop with the suicidal? I'm not suicidal. I don't even want to be dead. I just feel like if I can't get that big part of me or those parts of me back, that I'll be dead. I'll be a shell. I'll be a nothing. I'll just evaporate. I'll be invisible or air or nothing. I'll be nothing. I'll be nothing. You have to help me get that back. Or there's not even going to be anything to talk about. 'Cause I'll be gone.
And it's not my husband leaving me. That isn't it. I wish I could say it was, but there's something else that sort of, it's just been eating me alive for a really long time. thought about it last night, and if I don't get it out now, I'm afraid that it will just go on and on and on, and I will never solve that problem, even if my moods get better. thought about it last night, and if I don't get it out now, I'm afraid that it will just go on and on and on, and I will never solve that problem, even if my moods get better. I left something off my form when I started coming here. I had therapy once before for bulimia. I had individual therapy 3 times a week, and then after I'd been seeing my individual therapist and I went to all my appointments and made up any ones that I missed, and I got okayed to go into this group. I had stopped purging. That was really hard. And after I stopped purging, of course, I gained like 10 pounds. I mean, I was in therapy I'd been in therapy for 6 months, I guess. I wanted to come clean about it because, bulimia, it's pretty weird. It's a weird thing, and I know that it's fairly common, but it's sort of weird and creepy and secretive, and I don't need to be secretive, and when I one of the things that we talked about in this group, we all talked about this. I don't know how it came up, except somebody was talking about how frustrated she was that she wasn't supposed to binge anymore because it was the only thing that gave her any satisfaction. It was that made her feel like she was in balance with the universe. Yeah. And I'm sure that I was like that during the times
that I was binging. I mean, I didn't binge all the time. I wasn't like that, but I would go through periods where I would like binge every day, and I went through this time where I was binging so bad that I couldn't even keep food in the house, because if there was food in the house, I would eat it. They're going around the circle, and they're all expressing that there wasn't anything that gave them as much satisfaction as binging and or purging. I'm listening to them talk, and all of a sudden I start thinking when I lived in New York, and there was this place that I used to go every morning on the way to work to get my coffee. And you know, if you say dark, the place I went anyway, if you say coffee dark, then that meant that they would put not as much milk in it. It didn't mean that they wouldn't put any in. And if you said black, then it would be black, but they would put sugar in it, and you had to yell. And sometimes they put sugar in it anyway because they were in a bad mood or in too much of a hurry, and so you had to be really careful, you know. But there was this one guy, and I think because I was polite, but I always said coffee light. He got it this like really creamy, pretty, soothing, warm beige color. Not cold beige, but warm beige. And I don't know how much sugar he put in it or what, but he put just enough sugar and just enough milk that it was like comfort food. And you started to drink it, and you started to feel like everything was okay. I did have a few things that I guess those other women in the group didn't have, that soothed me, and that gave me satisfaction when I would have that same sort of feeling of everything is okay in the world when I would go to a live drawing class and a cup of tea. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a perfectly made cup of tea, but it's like, that's just for you. And I swear, they finally come to me. It's my turn to talk about my lack of satisfaction and my frustration and why it's so hard not to binge and purge, and all of a sudden it was like this bubble popped, and I realized that it wasn't ever probably going to be hard for me not to binge and purge again, because I had connected with satisfaction. And it doesn't mean that I'm not frustrated all the time, because I can't paint. I mean, I can, but I can't finish anything. I can't finish anything. It's like I'm over here and finishing the painting is over there. But I know what satisfaction feels like. I want that back. I want to be able to just
go inside myself and get that as easily as it was to get it standing online for my coffee in the morning in New York.
I tell myself, well, you know, I have all this money that I inherited, and it's like an opportunity to maybe finally tackle the thing that makes me so crazy. But that thing I told you where I want to paint and I can barely even touch the canvas. I can sit in front of it all day without putting one line on it. And I can do that for days and days and days in a row. Same canvas, same spot, ideal situation, no headache, no period, no hot flashes, just the perfect environment a person can have, right? Because I just don't have any obligations right now. I still can't do it. It's like climbing an impossible mountain every single time. And this is going to sound really stupid. I have this fixation on this American Impressionist woman painter, Lilla Cabot Perry. Because her parents were abolitionists, and they sometimes they hid runaway slaves in their house, or they were like a safe house or something. And so she grew up in this super liberal environment and surrounded by intellectuals. Their friends and relatives were like Louisa May Alcott and James Russell Lowell. I mean, can you imagine being a kid and that's who's coming to dinner? And then she marries this English professor who was best friends with Henry James. Lilla Cabot Perry. I guess she had her kids first, because she didn't really start studying painting seriously until she was in her 30s. She was going to Europe and studying with Pissarro. Her husband had a professorship, a guest professorship or something in Japan, and so she got to study with this really famous Japanese painter, and she studied with Monet because she was really into plein air painting. I'm not against landscapes. I'm not against flowers, but I mean Impressionism. I mean it's like color and light, and why waste that on landscapes? I just don't get it. I'm a Renoir fan. They would go to Giverny. She and her family, I think she had 3 kids, and they would go to Giverny in the summer so that she could study plein air painting with Claude Monet. And it really cracks me up to imagine her and her kids and her husband, the bookworm English professor, going down the road to meet Monet. Because when I see her in my mind, I see charm, school, posture, Kate Hepburn accent, and there they are, with her leading the way to the lily pond in Giverny, while her husband, the English professor, in this miraculously white linen suit, is carrying all her stuff and a bunch of books, and with this big smile on his face because he gets to read for however long she's going to be painting with Monet. And I even ran it by my husband once about how great it would be if he would like sit and read and keep me company while I painted. It's like painting is my secret lover, and he doesn't mind that I have this lover, because of course it's not really a person, it's painting. But he doesn't want to be part of that. He doesn't feel like he can. He feels like there's no place for him there. I just think it would be easier sometimes if he would just sit with me while I paint. Like I could do it if he would sit with me while I paint. I don't think that's ever going to happen though.